Yeah, I'm about to start a live stream. Okay. Nan, I'm gonna start a live stream. Pretty much. Hey, what's
Good, Brandon.
how's it going?
I'm okay. How are you?
Pretty good.
Just
Just was
chilling.
trying to figure this out.
Just chilling like a villain.
Yep,
That's it.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, Facebook's the glitchiest
Well, I
like
did a
thing.
live read. Well, the crazy thing is, I did a live read, but the thing is, I tried to click on you. It would not let me. I tried to click on Josh. It would not let me do it. So after this one, on that live video I did, I'm just going to go ahead and delete it because I don't need to have two videos up. Oh no, this one could fucking stay on YouTube. Fuck it, this one can
Yeah,
stay there too.
this one, Josh is just gonna link it to the
Okay,
uh,
cool.
Truthers group or whatever.
Okay, then what I'll do is I'll delete the other video that I did live because there's no use having two of them if I'm going to talk about the same thing. It's kind of like redundant and kind of retarded, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we can just use this if like
Yeah,
Facebook wants to act up.
it's Facebook. Like I try to get on Ron's show tonight to do Q&A. I couldn't even get on. I kept on getting the fucking knocked off and everything else, and like I don't know what the fuck was going on with it. It was acting
Yeah,
like a butthole.
I'm hoping to get on Ron soon.
Well, you should, because like you can kind of elaborate on how he was as a person. Like, maybe you
Yeah,
can elaborate on him being a narcissist. Like
yeah, like how he has like it's like a two-faced person basically.
yeah, how he is when he's not being that other side of Russ, and how he is as a normal Russ.
Yeah,
You know?
normal Rust and then like basically narcissistic Rust.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Wonder what Josh is doing.
I don't know, playing with the man bun he had on his head. I'm
Clearly,
just joking. I'm just playing.
yeah. I was like trying to start a Facebook live stream myself, but it wouldn't even let me start the live. It was like didn't make any sense.
Well, okay, there's Josh. I'm already on there. Josh, chime in. I'm already on there. We're waiting for your butt. Waiting for your ass to come on.
Wait,
I
where do
can't
you see
message
him
him.
on?
Well, yeah, well, he said he's messaging me, sending me the guy. I'm gonna say I'm already on. I
Yeah,
am already on. Join the party.
yeah. We gotta get people on tonight.
Join. Yeah, join the party. Oh no. Join the party. Okay, I just messaged him. I said, join the party, man.
Yeah, I
You're,
said
you're behind the
Christina
code
is
block.
on. Yeah, I was like, get on, Lil. Get
I
on.
actually need to talk to you when this is over. I actually need to talk to you like
Okay.
on a different topic offline. So when
Okay.
this gets all done and finished, I'll talk to you offline. The
Okay.
man
Uh,
bun. We love that
and,
shit.
Hey.
hey, so I'm waiting on Trent to get in here.
Sup, Trent?
Hey,
All right,
the
Trent,
whole
Trent,
fucking.
Trent, Trent.
So if you wanna, I don't know if you can see how many viewers you have or not.
It
I
says
just sent
two.
my moderators. Okay, well I have the
Or
moderators. I just sent
Two.
them the YouTube link,
okay.
so they should be here any second. People should be.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, I see there's 4 people on right now.
So if we just want to bullshit around for a little while.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? The crazy thing is now I have a new nickname, Cherry Buster.
I forgot. I thought that was Dan's
Cherry
name,
Buster.
but they couldn't remember your name. Cherry Buster. What a fucking name.
I have no
Wait.
idea. We were inside a group chat with Dan the man, and somebody accidentally called me Cherry Buster. So then he just started cracking up and laughing. So now I'm like Cherry Buster, which okay, I guess I look like
That last name is like the best last name you could have.
That's probably like
Buster.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Buster. It's funny.
If we weren't in public right now, I could have a lot of fun with that last name.
Go right on ahead.
Oh
Roll
no,
with
no,
it.
no, no! I'm not trying to get banned from the interwebs this early in the afternight.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll catch off offline then. Okay, Josh.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to catch up offline, and I will just
Offline
sling
about that one.
a name I can come up with, and we'll just brand the fuck out of you. So, how many people you got in here? Do you just want to rip it, or you want me to invite some more peoples in here to join your video, or what you want to do?
Here, I'm just gonna post it.
Yeah, here. Actually, I'll post it up too. Here, hold on. Oh my god! I just broke my dresser somehow. Alright, cool.
Hey, can we get Frank in here? Frank needs to come in here too. Oh no, Frank already talked early on Ron's show.
Yeah, he talked
well,
for a
I was
while on
wondering-
that.
Yeah, but Trent can talk about his experience about how a douchebag he was. Not Frank. I mean, like Russ. Not.
I mean, just about everyone can say he's a douchebag because everyone's experienced that side of him.
Oh, good. Why is this? Where is Facebook app? Now my whole app of Facebook is just gone. What is happening right now? Yo,
Oh
Facebook
my
is
God.
really fucked tonight.
Gosh, I think Terry Sue just posted it. It came I don't know if that's
Okay, I just posted it too. So fuck it. Can't find my YouTube. Oh, that was like 60 minutes ago. Whoops. The thumbnail for this is probably the greatest thing ever. It's just like Brendan's just kind of looking off like he just seen an extraterrestrial, and Christina's just like, "Is there something in my nose?"
No.
Honestly. Well, I mean, I have two screens and Christina knows that, so I'm kind of like, I have like a gaming setup.
Oh, Mr. Toocher. Maybe you'll be my, maybe we'll just do this whole interview thing together, and you'll just be the guy to supply the fucking feed, and I'll just feed the
Yeah,
content.
I'll just supply the feed and you can be the interviewer.
Fucking works, man.
Sorry. I'm just like going to reshift into my bedroom real quick.
Am
Oh,
I
you're
clear
good.
tonight?
Say what?
Am I clear tonight?
You sound far away, but you're definitely not breaking up like you were.
Yeah.
Good.
So I don't know how many viewers you have, but if you just want to run this real quick, we can, because
Okay.
I don't have too much. I don't have too much time.
There's
But
9 viewers on right now. You can
Oh.
start like if you want to be the interviewer. I don't know.
Okay, so first and foremost, let's start with fucking you, because like you've been put off and put off and put off, and
Yeah.
you've supplied this stream. So I guess for Trent and Christina and fucking the 9,000 or the 9 people watching right now,
Yeah.
who the fuck are you and why are you important?
Okay, so I'm Brendan Walden, and I lived in the neighborhood where Russ had his haunted house in his own backyard for like 12 years. And back in 2011, my friend was acting there, and I was hanging around the haunt every night, waiting for my friend to come with me, and he would like usually sleep over. And then eventually Russ and Carol came outside one day because they noticed I was like super interested in it. And they asked me if I wanted to act. So they got like my grandma's permission, and then we like signed something, and I started acting the next weekend, I think. And basically I acted from 2011, and then I would help Russ with this storage unit, like after haunt season into like March or April of 2012. And they would like take me out to eat a couple times, like occasionally, just since I was helping them. But yeah, that's pretty much about it. Um, and basically, this was around the time when he had like all the animatronic props that costed like thousands of dollars, and a bunch of like children actors and
So
some.
you weren't the only. So you weren't the only kid there. Like there
No,
were multiple kid actors, right?
there were multiple. Yeah, and there's like a couple adult actors, but I think the majority was mainly kid actors.
That was just for the boo hunt, right? Not like the moving into the old fisticuffs.
I mean, you can call it a boo haunt, but it's kind of like more called a touch haunt in between a boo haunt and an extreme haunt.
Well, elaborate. Tell us what the fuck it was. It's not like you signed an NDA or that it even
Well,
fucking matters.
yeah, no, I didn't sign one, but anyway, it was like people still had to sign a waiver, which allowed all the actors to touch the people going in. Even in like 2010, like the actors, like we would usually bear hug people and wrestle people that would go through the haunt. So it wasn't exactly a boo haunt where we just jumped out at people and just said boo type stuff. It was um, like there's this one part in the middle of it where a few actors would have masks and then go they would go to the group, put the masks on and pretend to kidnap them and bring them to the other side of the haunt. And there's this big like, I don't know how much it costed, but it was huge, and it was like this saw prop would strap someone into a chair and ask like 3 history questions, and it would be something stupid like, who was the president between 1974 and 1978? And if you got it wrong, they would rip the mask off and pretend like they would turn on the saw, and it was like it would go up in your face and it would like move left to right and like super loud. It was insane.
That one that got right up in your face. I've seen that
Y-
thing.
I think I have a picture of that actually.
Yeah, that was like thousands of dollars.
Damn.
Yeah.
So was it a real saw blade? Like if it would have hit a kid, would have cut the fuck out of them, or was it fake?
It was okay, so it wasn't a real saw blade, but it was like it definitely would have hurt if you touched it. Like it was, I think it might have been made out of like wood or something, but
RPM's probably going to hurt no matter what it's made out of.
yeah, because it was still like turning like really fast up in people's faces. So it's an animatronic prop.
So what the fuck? So what the fuck do you make of this after your exit and what the haunt turned into? Like, how does it make you feel, dude? Like, do you feel proud to be a part of this shit, or are you ashamed at what it turned into? Like, what's your opinion on what the fuck it turned into?
Well, I was proud to be acting at the time because it was actually like a legit haunt and everyone loved it at the time. But I'm ashamed of what it has turned into since like 2014. It kind of just turned into like a joke at this point that just caused a bunch of hurt more than fun for people. So
So I guess just so that we can kind of bounce around and just kind of get everybody so equally involved, so nobody's sitting here waiting until the very end. I'll ask you one more, then I'll bounce to Christina, ask her a few, then we'll bounce to Trent, and then we'll bounce back to you, if that works for you.
Yeah, that works.
So I guess like the next question for you is like, what is your, after hearing all the stuff that you've heard, you know, from Holly and Carol, and then the Tennessee side of things, and I know you haven't heard San Diego yet, but kind of what's your theory of what's going on in his head? Why does he do this shit? Because I know you have very interesting theories.
Well, I've mentioned it, and I have like I've sent some people like the screenshot of the message Russ sent to his actors after the haunt season that I participated in. But he's so obsessed and tunnel visioned on the view that goes on inside of his head about like how each tour and how the haunt's gonna play out that he forgets the safety of others while he's running the tour because he's so obsessed with getting the tour perfect to like play out perfectly like how it did in his head. So that I mean it's screwed up because he's like hurting people, but like he just needs to wake up out of his like uh whatever you want to call it, tunnel vision is the best like word I have for it, honestly.
Well, I guess we'll bust on over to Buster here for
Okay.
just 1 second. So I know you literally just did like freaking a 30-45 minute live. And
Yeah.
I didn't get to catch much of it because I was busy trying to figure out what the fuck is going on with the internet.
I
So-
know. I should have get your turn on. I actually tried, but it was Facebook's fuck up.
I literally tried 2 different phones, a computer. I've updated all my applications. I sent you probably 70 requests, and I just gave up. And then this guy, wait, no, where is he? Whatever, Brendan's around there somewhere. I can't get my finger right. So he made this. So this might be what we do from now on, actually, when we're not with Ron.
Yeah.
So yeah. So is there? I don't even know what to ask you because I don't know what you answered. What do you think? What do you make of this whole mess? What is your? Oh my Jesus!
Well,
What do you make of this whole mess from
Well,
Tennessee? And
when he had operated, when I went through in 2014, it was not to the level that it started wrapping up to, and it just started getting more crazier and more crazier and more brutal. So, do I think that in his comments or his videos from prior, oh, he's going to tone it down? No, I don't think he's going to tone it down. He'll just rename the goddamn haunt a different name. Because if you go back and look at screenshots of, he's made that same claim before in the past. So do I believe what he says? No, I do not, because he has lied in the past. So it's very hard to believe somebody, regardless who they are, if they're Russ or somebody else, to literally believe what they say when they have a history of doing the Sammy Davis shuffle.
so, so what do you think? Like, what is your theory of like why he keeps dumbing down lower and lower and lower? Like, you obviously experienced San Diego. I don't know what you experienced in the Boo, or if you ever went to the Boo Haunt or the prequel to the beatdowns in San Diego. But I mean, what do you think this dude's mindset is? What do you think is going on in his head? Why do you think he's trying? Is he getting scared, dumbing it down? Do you think he's trying to trick people? Like, what's your opinion on why he's doing the shit that he's doing? I mean, is he just trying to copy
I
Cadis?
think he is, in my opinion, I think he's a narcissist because he always has to be in control. He always has to have that grasp. And once he loses that grasp with somebody that he has a hold of, that's when he decides to like treat you like a piece of crap and have no use for you. Once he gets what he wants from you, that's what his pattern is. And he has a history of doing that to people. So I don't know why these people are such hardcore followers. And I'm not knocking anybody. They can do what the fuck they want to do and go to that. That's fine. But I know what I experienced and would I do it again? Hell no. Now the second time I went through it and I got done, yeah, I was on that Russ Mckamey Kool-Aid. I was memorized on what I went through. It was a adrenaline jump that I got. When I went through it the third time, it was personal. And if I would have known it was that he was going to make it personal and do it the way that he did, would I have gone to it? Hell no. I would have never got it through the third time. Do I regret what I did? And now that I've kind of looked back, would I ever do it again? Fuck no. You could have given me fucking $20,000 or $1,000,000 to go through his shit.
So if it's not too personal to ask, what is it that made you want to do it in the first place? I mean, if you had kind of seen or heard what was going on and like the brutality of it, what was it that appealed to you?
Well, when I saw the videos, it was all the videos that was prior to 2014 when Dallas was in them. So that's when he was more of I would say kind of like a Buhan, and what Brendan was talking about, where it was a touching element part of it. And then in 2014, he just started wrapping it up, like making it more and more intense after 2014. So how I came across Russ is that I was looking at YouTube videos, and that's the ones that I saw, his prior ones, that you not see now, but the ones going back from 2000 and probably 2011, 2012 timeframe and going back. And so I type in Russ, and I want to do an extreme haunt. Of course, I picked the hardest one out of all of them, supposedly. And I reached out to Russ, and I was living in Kuwait at the time as a government contractor. So I reached out to him and said, hey, how would you like somebody coming all the way from Kuwait, 19-hour plane ride to come to your haunt? So he kind of put me on this pedestal to a degree. This person is flying all the way from Kuwait to come take my tour, and made a real big, huge deal about it. And so that's how I came in contact with Russ and how I came across his haunt. Now, the haunts that I saw, like I said, were not like the ones I went through in 2014, 2015 at all. They were more like the videos that Brandon probably is familiar with, the ones that are 2011, 2012 time frame.
So let me get this like straight, like up. So basically, what your first tour, I guess you kind of knew, but you honestly didn't know what the fuck you were getting into when you first did it. Like, were you to know, like, how physical and what was really going to happen during your tour? Would you have taken your tour?
I really didn't know that it was going to be that physical in 2014. Like, it wasn't like the videos that I saw was not portrayed on the type of tours that I took in 2014. And it definitely was a 2015 because he amped it up in 2015. And like, I've sent you the pictures of those, and you're the only one that has the pictures besides Chris Elliott. So you already know the brutality of the 2015 tour. And then, like I said,
I got to be honest, those were kind of fucked.
2016, I was on that Kool-Aid ride. I was in that La La Land kind of crap. And, I took it the third time, and he made it personal. And why he made it personal, and I'll kind of retap on it. There used to be an ex-actor that used to work there. And he used to live there. This was back in 2016. And there was a complication in the house that had happened. So Russ had a case of the ass against him and basically dropped him off at a fucking bus station in New Mexico and just gave him a bus ticket. Just left him there. So I get a phone call from this ex-actor that I only met one time, which is he's in my 2016 video. And I'm on the couch with him, and I have pictures. So he calls me, and he's like, oh, I'm stranded here in New Mexico. Can you get me home? Well, I don't know why he did not get on the bus. I think he missed his thing. But anyhow, you don't leave somebody out of no man's land and just dump them there. So I helped him. bought him an airline ticket to get back home. And then that's where all the bullshit started with Russ Mckamey and made my tour personal because he had a vendetta against this ex actor that was friends with myself and friends with my daughter. And then after the tour, the safe word was called in the van. And after the safe word was called, I'm being dragged through the parking lot in the back of Home Depot, through concrete, on asphalt, and through bushes. And my aftercare was with people that were sitting there taping it. And they're the ones that checked on me and gave me water to make sure that I was okay. And then he proceeded to slander me through Facebook, saying that I filed charges against him. I did this, and this. And I haven't really done anything. I've been quiet for the last 3 years with his dumb ass.
So, I don't know how to word this. Like, was there any point in your tour where you felt like, I'm sorry, my camera's off. I'm literally maneuvering around my room about to feed my dog, so I just don't want the people to be distracted by all my movements. So did you ever feel like your life or your long-term health was in danger during any of your tours? Like, do you feel like they weren't going to stop, or did you feel like if something would have went a little bit further that you would have just died or just had permanent damage to yourself?
Now, the only thing that I have questions about, and it's kind of scary, is on my third tour, excuse me, on my third tour, when I was in the van, I was given a liquid substance. Now, after that was given, and I don't know if it was a drug that was put into it. I don't know. I can't say 100% if it was or not. So I don't want to make that claim. But after that was taken, there is a lapse in time that I don't remember during my tour. Now, when I said the safe word in the van, I was sopping, soaking wet, and I was put in that cooler. Now, if you were put in an ice cold goddamn cooler, I think that's something that you would remember, correct? I don't even remember that happening to me. So that part of being unconscious and not remembering that, to me, is a scary thing. What could have happened?
And I really want to, I said I was going to keep this equal, and I want to bounce to Trent right after this, and we'll just circle back around. But so that's kind of weird because there's other people that feel like they don't remember parts of their tours as well, and a lot of people are asking, well, did he really inject people with this? Did he really inject people with that? And I'm one of those, alongside I think Carol as well, that he never used drugs on anyone. And it's just interesting that you feel like that you have a testimony that can contribute to literally either side of this. So this whole thing is just so fucking weird.
It's or not, but it's very coincidental and very odd to me that after I was given a liquid, that I don't remember how in the hell how I got put inside a freezing cold ass cooler full of water.
I mean, even when you're people that are, overdosing on drugs or too drunk or something. I mean, if you get in some ice cold fucking water, you know what's going on. Like, I mean, you hit cold water and it's crazy. So I think that's very interesting. I don't think I've ever really put that piece of the puzzle together yet, that you had that aspect of your tour where you were actually feel like you could have actually been drugged, but at least you're honest and not saying, well, he did do this. It is very interesting.
I find it interesting too.
So I guess Trent, we'll switch to you before we bounce back to the top. What's up, dog?
Same old shit. Hanging out.
At least we can. At least you're steady tonight, man. Like you're not fucking blitching and glitching and all this other weird shit I don't know how to pronounce.
Right. Country
And I'm
shit,
totally mooching off of someone else's fucking Streamly site here. So how do I do it? Yeah, this guy. Yeah, that feller up there.
Right there.
This is all him hooking this up, and I am literally just talking shit to these people. So it sucks we couldn't get Frank on here tonight, but hopefully we'll get Frank on here tomorrow night if I can get this feller to agree to let me put somewhat extremely fucked up shit on here. Yeah. So we'll work on that. But Trent,
what's up?
Is there anything a lot of people tried to figure out what the fuck you were saying on YouTube? So is there anything now that you have a stable connection that you want to reiterate on or tell your story like over again so people know who you are?
I mean, yeah. I got to meet Russ. First moved here back in 17. I guess followed him for I guess maybe a year or two, year and a half or so before he moved here. Then when he got here, it was a lot of talk in the town, about how he was and what was going on up there. And I heard some friends of mine one night talking about this like haunted house, extreme ass torture place, whatever. That they're pulling teeth and they're doing all this crazy stuff up in Summertown. I'm like, dude, what? I've never even heard of this. And they said it was this guy named Mckamey. And I'm like, wait a minute, I know who you're talking about. So I was like, damn, he's in Summertown. So we ended up kind of getting into it and, watching it on Saturdays and whatnot. And then, I messaged him a couple of times on the live feed. And then he was talking one time about his Run Russ out of town bake sale sign that was stolen. I'm sure people remember that. But my little girl was like, hey, let's make him a sign and take it up there. And I'm like, well, yeah, cool. Because they would watch some of this stuff with me on Saturdays. I didn't never let them watch any of the graphic stuff, but the flipping the tires and all that crazy business, I didn't think not much to it. But anyway, so we got in contact with Russ and then offered to make him this sign, and he was all thrilled about it and everything. He's like, yeah, come on up. Because he's, always likes people, bringing him free shit, obviously. So anyway, we made this sign and we took it up there, and he went live and everything. And of course, it was kind of cool and whatnot. And then gave him the sign, got to talking to him, got to kind of know him. Went up there. I think the first time was for Jamie Vanderlinden's tour, and of course I guess it already shit all of his prior people who were like me, Greg, and Becky, and all them came into the play. So he was having us come up there and work, run the cameras and stuff. We got to know him real well, and I guess for about 4 or 5 months, maybe something like that, and then he just he's real, like everybody says he's just real overbearing. He's real demanding. He's real needy. He's real just like his way or the highway kind of guy. And so basically we went through several tours up there with him. Was up there with Dan Hubbard and he came to eat Thanksgiving with us, and it was just some family things that had happened to my ex-wife, my children's mother, my daughter's mother, and it was just some things to do with some abuse, like way back before I'd ever even met her. And he kind of found out about it because he's starting to ask, and so I just kind of opened up to him, and then he just goes like ape shit, man, on me, and I'm like, what are you going nuts on me for? I was a moderator on the page. I was helping him a lot, man. I was me and Greg and Becky, we helped him a lot. I had him over here to eat at my house multiple times. Went, and took care of the dogs while he was out taking stalking Holly. Which we didn't know that at the time, but anyway. Um, and he just basically just uses people. He used us up, and I don't know what it was about this deal that he just freaked out on me over, but he just told me how I should have done this and I should have done that. And I'm trying to explain to this dude, it's like, hey man, all this happened way before I ever met her. I did everything I could for 8 years. I tried to get her help. I tried to get her counseling, but you can't really force somebody into doing something until they're ready to do it. You know what I mean? So, we had, I don't know, we had that falling out, man. And then like I woke up the next day and I was taking off the page, and he wrote me this really, really long ass message. I mean, I'm talking long, like really long message about how I should have done this and I should have done that. So when we had this falling out, Thomas Holmes was involved, and then I guess I became a hater all of a sudden, and then they called Child Protective Services on me, knowing the situation that I was already in with the kids and their mom, and over a bunch of bullshit. And it ended up being bullshit. They came out, did their little thing, checked everything out, and left. It just basically was a nightmare, a low punch. But that kind of goes to show you what kind of person that he is, because that was like, I didn't give a fuck what he did to me, man. I don't give a fuck. But that was striking against the kid, and that shit's not cool, man. Not cool at all. It could have, it just wasn't any point in it. Like I said, it wasn't a big deal in the end. It lasted a couple of weeks, and they opened the case, came out, talked to, everything was fine. They left, closed it out. But it was just bullshit, man. And it just goes to show you, like, he's done everybody else what kind of piece of shit he really is. Like Christina said, and everybody else said, he's a narcissistic, just crazy fucking man, and I don't think anybody's ever going to be able to get close to him. Everybody's got their Russ Mckamey like honeymoon thing, like Ron said, but how long does that last? A couple of months, if that, and then it's all over. So I don't know, man. I just it took a while. I got some crazy things happened after that around the house. I had some people ride by a couple of times and holler. I mean, vehicles that I didn't recognize. I live out in the country. I know everybody that goes down my road, and vehicles I didn't recognize. I got a crazy note in my mailbox. Just a few. It was for about a month or a couple of months. It was a lot of weird shit going on, and that was when the truthers were coming right out. And
I was trying to talk, Mike. You did. I still have that picture of that note from your mailbox, man. If you need it, I still have it.
Well, I'd see, man. I'd do whenever. Yeah, but let's put it on the page. Let's share it.
Yeah, dude. I'll send it to you and let you put it up so you can put it in context since it's your story. But I do still have that picture. I think I'm pretty sure I do. It says,
if you
got. It said something about playing games or something like that. Or I don't remember.
Yeah,
I'll send it to you and let you put it up.
Yeah, do that, because I don't even know if I put it in a Ziploc bag and held on to it for months, and then I think like it just it all kind of faded away, because I got out of it, man, after about 2 months after it. I was like, it's too much, man. I got to get completely out of all this shit, because it was just, I didn't want nothing to do with it anymore, like a lot of other people. But yeah, I would like to have that, man, a copy of it, because I can, I mean, I'm not saying it was him, but come on, man, it was too.
Who it was?
You're right, exactly.
I think who that was, and I don't think it was Russ.
No,
I think they were sent to Russ, but I don't think it was Russ.
Right, that's what I've always thought. But it just, and people hollering by cussing, man, and just around my kids, you and shit like that. I'm like, man, come on, I don't know.
Yeah.
It was a trip, man. It was a trip. I'm glad it's all over. I'm glad all this just came out. And, I mean, props to Christina and everybody and Dan, everybody, man, that's come out with their stories. You know, it's a great thing because this kind of shit, man, needs to be stopped. Period. No, it does.
So what's like you're a local guy, like what's been the overall community reaction to him coming to town, and like why do you think he's getting away with this shit? I mean, why do you think the cops are not acting on it? I mean, do you have anything to offer on that?
I have personally spoke to several of them, man, that are mine, captains, sergeants, and they all pretty much say the same thing. You know, it's nothing they can really do, and I'm like, well, I mean, why? You know, and I guess it's because I talked to about this is what I said, man. I asked the deputy one time. I said, okay, so what would it take for you guys to actually do something? Would it be for somebody to actually get hurt and have to file get hurt, go to the hospital and file a police report right after this tour? And he was pretty much like, yeah, you know, so their hands are tied. I mean, I don't know. I don't understand it, but apparently they always go back to saying something about that stupid ass fucking contract, man. You know, it's always goes, well, they signed a contract, you know, and I'm like, so I don't know. I really don't. I've talked to them and I've gotten nowhere.
One thing I can add on to like with the contract thing, and I've told Christina this before, technically, like you can withdraw consent. As soon as you withdraw consent, he has to stop it or whatever. But you sign for allowing physical contact, and in legal terms, there's no like measure of like how much physical contact the actors can do. So, like originally, he wanted the actors to just like hug, like bear hug people and wrestle with the people that went through. But now he like physical contact, like punching is the same as hugging people that go through in legal terms, because it's all just touching. Like there's no measurement to it in the eyes of the law.
Oh shit! I guess that's my cue. Okay. So,
Yeah.
sorry. I fucking cut my
I get
camera off
or something.
The DM is lit. Where the fuck is Trent?
I think he disconnected.
Damn you, Trent.
In layman's term, is that once, I guess, according to Brandon, so once you say your safe word, it means that all stuff is supposed to stop. It does not go beyond where there's a legal loop, I think, is once after you said the safe word, that's when things stop. If he continues to do the manhandling and doing the other stuff, the manhandling and the bruising and all the other stuff, then you did not consent to that. So he is doing something illegal to people after they've said the safe word, because everything is supposed to cease, to my understanding.
So this is something that I wanted to like ask you. I actually go ahead and finish. I didn't mean to.
Now in my third tour, I said the safety word in the van. That's when my shit should have stopped, but it did not stop. I was still being manhandled when I was dragged out of the van. I was dragged across asphalt wet, and I was dragged through goddamn bushes. So, so in other words, if there's a legal loophole, that's where the legal loophole might go ahead and stand. I mean, might go ahead and where he can get in trouble. I'm just going off what Brendan is saying, because that's what it sounds like to me.
So, like when you did your tours in San Diego, like was it a safe word? Or was it like this fucking 3-page long goddamn safe paragraph that you have to say in Tennessee like 3 times over?
No, sometimes he would mix it up. Sometimes one year I had just a word, and then there was one time I had like a safe phrase. So it just depends what he wants to do and who the contestant, whether he just says do a safe word or do a phrase.
So did you have any of the like the little pre-tour activities, like go stand in front of Walmart and show your ass to 14 people and buy 14 kids some gummy bears, and
No,
like did you have to do anything like that?
no, that didn't start. That's the crap didn't. Well, take that back. It didn't do during my tours. I never had to do any kind of crazy stuff like that. I know with Laura, she had to go to different locations and she did some like made her do some stupid shit. But I physically was never put through that.
I think the reason that he did that a lot, especially here in Tennessee, was that was a way that he could take away all these fail cards from people. So that's going to lighten the chance of them getting into the manor that's not even fucking there. That's just my
Right.
thought.
I agree with that. I think like that's what I've been trying to get across on Ron's. Like I try not to hijack Ron's show, so I try not to
Right.
talk too often much. But so my thing is, it's like this whole Tennessee thing is so interesting because it's literally like you're seeing how his brain is starting to like fucking devolve. Like you're starting to see how it really works because he's had to dumb down so much. It's like, so I can't control them physically by force through other people. So I can literally use a social media platform and put them on the spot and make them embarrass themselves on the internet or make them agree to do all this weird shit because that gives him the control over him that he's not physically able to put over them during the haunt that he does not have anymore. And I think that's how he is in, instead of releasing like physical shit onto somebody, he's like releasing like mental shit over somebody. Like you can't control them physically, control them mentally, if that makes sense.
I talked to somebody the other day. I don't know if you might have, but somebody said that Holly Days was back in Louisiana and she's all fucked up on some shit.
Yeah, I think you were talking to me.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah, apparently, like he was there, like not even a month ago, apparently,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
very interesting as to why he wasn't home for so long.
Right, exactly. That's because he wasn't up there the other day when I went by and posted those pictures, man. But that shit in the backyard was not there last year, so I don't know
The
what
you
that.
talking about the big like fortress, wooden fortress thing?
And then there was like a little building on stilts, maybe like I don't know, a 15 by 15, something like that, maybe 300 square feet little building on stilts, and it has this corrugated pipe coming out of it to the, and it almost makes me think of that thing that she was trying to come up out of. Haley Days is trying to climb that tube. Did y'all
Oh
see
yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, I think that may be where that room is. He's got to have something in there. Because I mean, whatever all that shit he was doing, that Susan chick, that was in Tennessee, but we didn't ever see none of that. But I mean, who knows? That could be locked up in one of those containers. I'm sure it is.
Yeah,
But
and which is why, like, I really was hoping that Becky and Greg were able to snoop into them things, or anybody who was brave enough, they must be locked up tight, eh?
they were. I was up there. I went up there. I mean, like they went. He was gone for a week because I had baby here at my house, but I still would go up there and feed Milo and Malibu. I think Milo and Malibu anyway. But like I went up there 2 days, and Becky and Greg went up there a couple of days, and then. But yeah, dude, I walked all over the place. I mean, I knew he wasn't there. I'd already been in his house. I knew he doesn't have security cameras. I knew he wasn't watching me. So I snooped all over the place. I went in the back and saw the containers are built in a box formation. So like you can't see in the middle of it, but in the middle is that well, everybody's seen it now. But yeah, you could see all that. But no, that ball pit thing was out there, and then the only thing that I
Al's.
saw that was yeah, exactly. The only thing that I actually saw and he didn't want to. He didn't even want to show this to me, man. But in the front room, we had went and see that movie Overlord that night, and when we came back, it was like already probably 11 o'clock, maybe even later by the time we got back to his house. And then we got to talking and shit. And then I had never watched the Art of Scare, right? Isn't that it? Yeah, right.
The one that
Yeah.
first one.
Yes. Okay. So then he was like, "Hey, you want to watch this?" I'm like, "I get, yeah, why not?" Right. So we watched that. It was just, it was really, really weird, man, because Carol was on there, and that was before I knew really much about Carol. And like, I'm sitting over here, I'm basically just like propped up on the floor, and he's propped up on the floor because there was no furniture in the house. And we're watching this on his computer, and like that time right there, now that I'm actually thinking about it, he actually got it was weird, man. It was a weird. It was late at night. It was me in there, and he was watching this movie, and it was like some of these facial expressions, like he was when he was watching some of this shit that he did. It was like he had this look on his face, like it was kind of disturbing, really, man. I kind of honestly felt uncomfortable for a minute. I thought, this motherfucker could be really crazy, and he could axe me up here in a minute, and nobody know what the fuck happened to me. But it was weird, man. And then I was like asking questions. I was like, "So was that your wife or something, or your girlfriend?" "Oh, no, no, no. That's cut it off real quick." I'm like, "Really? So y'all live together, but y'all weren't like?" But he was real, like, once he said no, you didn't question him no more. You know what I mean? It was over. So, but yeah, um, he's a strange motherfucker, man.
Holy shit! And I guess I can vouch. Living smack dab in the middle of the Bible Belt, having some shit like that show up in your neighborhood. I mean, it's
Yeah, man, it's weird, man. But like, I mean, I don't. It doesn't bother me, but because I've always like I did haunts down in Alabama and shit before I moved up here when I was younger and stuff. But I've always loved it, and that's why I've like I've taken Anthony and them's really been cool, man, and we've all kind of gotten real tight, and that's awesome because those guys are great, man. Those are some real stand up guys, man. I mean, I know a lot of y'all hadn't met them yet, but man, they are great fucking people. Ain't no doubt, man. And every damn one of them just good people. But like I said, I didn't really care what was up with Russ, but a lot of people don't, man, because Summertown is a little small town. The only other thing that makes Summertown famous is the hippie farm, and that's been there
well,
since
that
'69.
and the fucking movies.
Yeah, right.
Town at sundown, my dude. Come on, man.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, it's I hope he goes, man. I mean, but I don't know what he's gonna do. Who knows? I just hope that I know that all the stuff that's happened in the past couple of months and everybody telling their stories and whatnot, it's definitely helping. I mean, it's but
I mean, is there
who knows
anything
what
in the
that
local media, like
can do.
anything going on?
But
Like,
they, a couple back, I don't know, something a few weeks ago about the petition, I think, and there was an article about the haunted house, and then it was something else below it about the petition, something like that. But it's a lot of, you just more or less talk on the street, really. People just don't like it. Nobody likes it. I mean, I wouldn't want to fucking, I wouldn't want somebody dragging folks around with a chain behind their truck in front of my house in my yard, with my kids watching.
fuck no.
But
Fuck no.
no, it's not. Whatever, fun and games or whatever, but that's just pushing it, man. I was just really appalled the day I got there. I was shocked. I was like, "This is Mckamey Manor," this fucking stinking ass single wide. What?
Stinking ass. Oh, come on, man.
It's horrible,
It's too late for this shit.
dude. He did say one thing that I said before I go, but in that night, I was like, so you don't have, I really want to see some of this stuff, I want.
Oh, here comes the infamous Trent internet issues.
Yeah.
Is it happening?
Come back. Back to us.
Is it back?
Nah, I don't think that's working out.
I bet Trent has cocks. Because they suck so bad.
This is me trying to magically fix your internet. Did it work? Are you back?
I'm back.
Yeah, baby. There you are.
Word.
So,
All right. Yeah. What were you
so
gonna say?
for like over an hour. Brendan, I don't know how. I know it's late as fuck, kind of, sort of.
It's 8:55 for me, and Christina.
Well, I'm just gonna say it is fucking midnight where I'm at. I did this Ron show. Now that I know that this platform will fucking work, maybe we'll just do after parties here from now on.
Yeah, we can do that.
Who's
So,
up?
And kind of like and touch on another question that you haven't asked, the actors of San Diego, Russ never fired them. They all left on their own accord and left Russ fucking high and dry. Like they left. They said,
Yeah.
I'm not putting up with this shit no more. Because I'm friends with some of those actors. Like one of them is Steve Fox. I'm good friends with him. There's a couple of other ones. There's one that's in the MMT group by the name of Mike Mitchum. So all these people walked out on Russ. Russ didn't fucking fire him like he says that he fired him. They got tired of his shit and left him. And he had no actors.
And wasn't part of it like his contract or the contracts that they signed or something like that? It only covered Russ, like it didn't cover the actors. Where
I believe so, but also it's how they were treated. He treated them very badly, like he was a narcissist. Like he'd be this other type of Russ, and then he'd treat the actors really, really bad, and they just got tired of his shit after 2016, and they all walked off. They all walked off on him.
Well, damn, Brendan, how were you treated, bro?
He never fired any of them, like he claims that he did.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, I was just fucking with you. I was asking you if you got treated like shit too, but that was a completely different situation. But fucking the actor thing. Have you seen the show that they came on of Christina George's where they all like actually started speaking out against him? Or have you ever seen that?
Yeah, I've seen that. Some of them have come out. This was a few years ago, and they came out on Christina George's show and said how they were treated by Russ.
And you know what? I'll actually share that to the page right after this.
This is nothing that I'm making up at all, that I'm just making up out of thin air of what happened, because all they have to do is hear it straight from the horse's mouth when they were on Christina George's show a few years ago.
Hey, Josh, Lala just texted me, man.
Oh, yeah?
So
just like out of you.
With what?
Have we talked? Has anybody heard her story yet?
I tried. I definitely I tried. I guess you can see how that went. Maybe you can work that out.
I mean, I hadn't heard from her in a minute, but she just messaged me, so I don't know. Hey, but look, hey, this is good. We can do this anytime, whatever.
Yeah, for sure. I know this Ron podcast is ending soon. And I know a lot of people didn't get to say what they wanted to say, or a lot of people want to be able to say what they want to say, but can't necessarily say it there.
Who I really want to go on there is I want to know, like, like the Rust followers, at least have one person on there and explain to me why do you follow him? Because
Well,
I want to know what goes on in their brain. Why? Like,
Taryn was
what
on
is
there,
it?
the mod.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
on it like a couple times.
And he actually
Yeah.
left the group for not even 24 hours, but went right back. So,
I might have to go back
Right.
and watch that episode then.
but he wants to actually come back on, but we've just ran so much, or so far out of time. We might just have to do it here.
When is
Yeah.
he doing the San Diego streams?
I want to say as
This
early
weekend.
as tomorrow, if not tomorrow, Sunday.
Okay.
Who's running this platform?
Who's what?
Who's running this platform? You?
No, me.
Oh, Brandon. Okay. All right. Right on.
Yeah, the dude that's like half my age is running the platform. So,
Well, I have a gaming setup, so it's easy for me to run.
yeah, we leave
Because
it to the Minecraft reads.
You guys are all on phones, so you guys can't set up this type of like stream, pretty much.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. I tried every single fucking piece of technology in my house, and everything was just all the shit. So you got it figured out. So we'll just, if you don't care if people like record this and upload it to their own
No,
platforms,
I don't mind, and anyone can come on like that you think should come on.
Thanks,
yeah,
So,
for
Brandon.
sure. And I mean, if you want to kind of just have the after parties here, and you got people you want to talk to, we'll just fucking facilitate it here for the shit that don't get said. But my punk ass is fitting to get off this fucking phone for once.
Yeah,
So
homies. Love y'all.
yeah, if
see you,
you wanna
Trey.
Love ya. Love you, Josh.
peace out.
Peace
Peace
out,
out.
Josh.
Bye, Christina.
All right.
Okay.
So who's Trent bolted out?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Do you wanna private call me? See you
yeah,
guys.
I'll
Okay.
private call you. All right.
Okay. Sounds
Later.
good. I'm gonna end it.
All right.
See ya.
You too. Bye.
Bye.